The kitchen smells like old garlic bread and fresh judgment. You sit at the end of the table where you always sat when you were younger, out of the way near the swinging door to the pantry. It's not even your chair anymore, not really. It belongs to the silence you wore like armor every Sunday for 18 years. Tonight is no different. Your father is carving roast beef with unnecessary aggression, talking about your brother's latest campaign event, how many people showed up, how the mayor stopped by to shake hands, how it's real momentum this time. Your mother nods like it's gospel. Your brother barely looks up. He's too busy texting the soft click of his phone like a metronome to your irrelevance. "So what are you doing these days?" Your aunt asks, buttering a roll with the sort of passive interest reserved for weather updates and grocery prices. The question is half rhetorical. Before you can answer, your brother says still working that nonprofit thing right. He smirks like the word nonprofit tastes bitter and small in his mouth. You clear your throat? Actually. But your dad cuts in with a chuckle. "She's still trying to change the world, huh? God bless her." Laughter. Even the chandelier above the table trembles with it. You chew slowly. Not because you're hungry, but because silence feels safer than giving them a headline they'd weaponize later. They wouldn't believe you anyway. Your cousin pipes up. Maybe one day she'll get a real job, like politics or law, something that actually matters. They don't know. That's the thing. They have no clue. You look around the table at these people who claim to love you, who raised you, who say your name like it's a lowercase footnote. And part of you is tempted, so tempted, to let the truth drop like a wine glass against tile. Instead, you smile. Maybe one day. It's funny how they only want success if they can say they built it. If they can't take credit, they'd rather deny it exists. To them, your life is still a project in progress, something waiting for approval. Your brother's campaign posters are stuck on the fridge with pride. Yours are on Capitol Hill, but who's counting? You push your plate away and excuse yourself to the living room. As you pass the hallway mirror, you catch your reflection still and centered. You look fine, unmoved, but you know what's coming. There's a gala next week, a political one. Your brother asked you to attend not because he wants you there, but because he needs someone to network quietly. You agreed. That was your mistake. Or maybe your opportunity. You hear your mother behind you? "Just try not to wear one of those weird suits of yours. You know the ones. You always look like you're trying too hard." You turn back with a smile so soft it could be a blade. "Don't worry, I'll look exactly how I need to." You arrive early to the campaign office the next morning dressed in the same weird suit your mother warned you against sleek charcoal with a high collar. No frills, no flash, just presence. You blend in with the staffers unnoticed by most, which suits you just fine. Familiar, even. Your brother is in his corner office with the blinds half closed, barking into a headset like he's managing a crisis, not a state senate race, with lukewarm support and an overinflated sense of importance. He waves you in without looking up. "Glad you could make it?" he mutters, spinning a laptop toward you. "Okay, so this fundraiser's big. Governor Harmon will be there. He's backing local campaigns for next year's primaries. I need FaceTime with him. Badly." You lean against the edge of the desk, and you want me to... He sighs like you've asked something difficult. Work the crowd, mingle, whisper nice things. You know how to do that. Nonprofit charm offensive. Smile, nod, sell it. Sell what exactly? That I'm viable. You watch his face. He doesn't say please, he never does. You nod once, sure. He relaxes, already assuming the favors bank the way he always does. But something in your gut shifts. It's subtle, like the moment before a wave collapses on itself. You used to do this, play the helpful sibling, stay in the background, watch others take credit for rooms you warmed and opened. But not this time. Not when the air feels thick with opportunity and your name is pulsing through Capitol briefings every Monday morning. You walk out of his office without another word. Down the hallway, a volunteer hands you a clipboard, mistaking you for a new intern. "Senator's office is down the block," she says, not looking up. You smile again. Good to know. At home that evening, you find the formal invitation in your inbox. Governor's gala formal attire required. Black tie, high stakes, low honesty. You RSVP with a simple attending, and then sit in the quiet for a while, wondering why your hands don't tremble like they used to. That night, your father calls. You haven't spoken one-on-one in months, maybe years. The caller ID alone makes your chest tighten, but you answer. Hey kid, he starts using the nickname you outgrew in college. Look, I know we give you a hard time, but your brother's trying to do something big. This is important to the family. If you can help him look good in front of Harmon, there's no actual request, just expectation. It's how he's always asked for things through guilt cloaked in casual words. I'll be there, you say, and he exhales like you saved the day. You always were the dependable one. You pause, then funny. That's not what I remember being called. He laughs, but it's empty. Well, people grow. I'm sure you've done fine for yourself. You hang up soon after, not angry, just done. Their praise comes late, wrapped in ulterior motives. Still, you feel calm. Something has shifted. You're not here for applause. You're here for the quiet satisfaction of being underestimated right up until the moment you aren't. The venue is ridiculous. One of those historical mansions turned into an event space, all marble staircases and chandeliers trembling from air conditioning. Outside valets glide like ghosts in black gloves, ushering in politicians and donors with forced laughter and thin smiles. You step out of your rideshare unaccompanied, unnoticed, just the way you like it. The red carpet is short, shorter than the egos that walk it. Cameras flash at your brother and his girlfriend, all veneers and ambition. He doesn't even glance back. He thinks you're still 5 minutes behind him. He doesn't know you've been watching him since the parking lot. Inside, it's noise wrapped in elegance, flutes of champagne, tiny forks, conversations filled with the word alignment instead of truth. You take a glass from a silver tray and let the bubbles rest at your lips without sipping. Across the room, you spot him, Governor Harmon, tall, silver-haired, shaking hands with a rhythm so practiced it feels automatic. Your brother is making his way there, shoulder-tapping, elbow-nudging, positioning himself with the urgency of a man who sees the hourglass tipping. You don't move toward them. You drift the opposite direction toward the art gallery section of the mansion, where the crowd thins and the sound softens. You run a finger along a marble column, stare at a painting of a broken clock. Striking piece, someone says beside you. You don't look immediately. It's either about running out of time or being free from it. A chuckle. Depends on who's watching the clock. You turn. Governor Harmon. Up close, he's less polished than expected. Deep lines under the eyes. Sharp, but tired. He's holding his champagne like it's his fifth, not his first. He's not wearing a name tag, he doesn't need one. You nod politely. Governor, you with the Hillard campaign? He asks, gesturing vaguely toward the noise. You take a breath, in a way. He studies you, familiar. What's your name? Your full name leaves your mouth like a casual secret. At first, he processes it like any introduction, mild interest, polite nod, until the syllables register, and then something snaps into place behind his eyes. He blinks. Wait, you're the senator. The air freezes. You don't reply. You let the silence do the talking. He sets his drink down slowly. I read your ethics reform brief last month. I quoted it at the summit in Denver. I heard. He laughs, not mockingly, genuinely, like he's discovered something he can't believe he missed. You're not with the Hillard campaign, he says. It's not a question. No, you say, still calm. I'm family. His smile fades into something sharper. They didn't introduce you. They rarely do. He looks across the room, sees your brother finally clocking your presence, sees him start toward you. The governor doesn't move. Would you walk with me, he asks. You do. He leads you down a hallway lined with photos of past governors. All the portraits wear suits and the same smile. As you walk, he talks, asks about your latest legislation, the budget reform pilot, the backlash you managed with grace. You're what the party needs, he says, stopping near a quiet alcove. Not what they parade around. You don't respond. You've learned that holding eye contact can say more than any flattery. I'd like you to join the State Ethics Committee. We're reworking leadership. There it is. You nod once, I'd consider that. He smiles again, smaller now, more genuine. Glad we met. As he walks away, you finally sip your champagne. It's warm now, a little flat, but it tastes like vindication. You're still standing there when your brother finally catches up breathless, like he ran a marathon through soft velvet and finger food. What did you say to him, he hisses, trying to look casual while gripping your elbow a little too tightly? He barely acknowledged me after that. I've been trying to get 5 minutes with him for weeks. You lift your glass and swirl what's left. We talked about broken clocks. He blinks. What? You meet his eyes, truly meet them and see it. That crack, that flicker. The moment he realizes he has no idea who you are anymore. Or maybe he never did. The ethics committee, you say slowly. He invited me onto it. He stares. His mouth opens then closes like a fish out of water trying to remember how air works. That's not possible, he says, voice low, panicked. He was supposed to talk to me about endorsement tonight. He was supposed to talk about my run. You tilt your head. He still might, though I imagine that conversation just got more complicated. You leave him standing there, jaw clenched, ego deflating like a child's balloon the morning after a party. Every step you take back into the main room feels lighter than the last. The buzz of conversation seems to soften around you. The noise has shifted. And so have the glances. People who didn't see you before are suddenly looking again. Some tilt their heads as if trying to recall where they've seen your face. Others whisper their curiosity barely concealed. You don't care? Let them guess. Let them wonder. You spot your mother near the hors d'oeuvres, her hand wrapped around a flute of something expensive, her pearls just slightly crooked. When she sees you, she straightens immediately. Her eyes sparkle with a strange, unfamiliar pride, manufactured on short notice. There's my girl, she says, pulling you into a side hug, like you haven't spent your life just outside her circle of approval. You let her hug you stiff as stone. I always said you'd do something important, she murmurs into your shoulder. Didn't I? No, you say plainly, you didn't. She laughs, missing the weight behind your words or pretending to. Your father is next, his handshake stiff, his face a portrait of forced warmth. Impressive move, he says, as if this were chess and not your actual life. I wasn't trying to impress you. He nods like that's acceptable now. Like you're speaking the same language. People begin to drift your way, sensing the gravitational shift. A local news anchor says your name with a question mark at the end. A senator's aide offers you a fresh drink. Even the catering staff glance at you longer, curious, careful. And then the governor returns flanked by donors, his voice booming through the ballroom. This, he says, gesturing toward you, is what the future looks like. Smart, steady, principled. Your brother tries to smile, but it doesn't reach his eyes. Your phone buzzes in your pocket, 3 new messages from campaign strategists, 2 from DC, 1 from someone you haven't spoken to in months who suddenly remembers you exist. You turn the screen face down. This isn't about leverage, not tonight. It's about letting the silence that surrounded you all these years finally speak for itself. The room doesn't feel loud anymore. It feels tuned, like everything in it is humming to a new frequency, and you're the note everyone's adjusting to. You don't move much. You don't need to. Power, real power, sits still and waits to be approached. Your brother paces near the refreshment table, flanked by a pair of donors who suddenly can't maintain eye contact with him. His jaw is tight. He keeps looking over like he's trying to decide if he should interrupt or apologize or disappear. He does none of them. Just clings to a glass of water like it might hydrate his self-worth. You, on the other hand, are listening to the governor tell a story about a failed ethics bill from 2 years ago. You know the story. You rewrote half of it, but you let him tell it anyway. People are watching how you nod, how you laugh at the right moments. They see his hand resting casually on your shoulder like an invisible stamp of validation. Then someone says it soft but clear enough. She's the senator, right? It spreads. She's the one who pushed through that campaign finance audit. I thought wasn't she at that UN summit? No, that was someone else. Wait, no, it was her. And just like that, the past 3 years of you grinding in silence, passing midnight legislation. No one televised, chairing thankless subcommittees, getting doors closed politely in your face, suddenly matter. Your mother reappears with a fresh drink. Darling, you should have told us. We would have come to your swearing in. No, you wouldn't have, you say. You were in Florida. She stammers, well, we could have flown back. It was during your anniversary cruise. Oh, that's right, I forgot. You smile, and this time it's not sharp, it's just tired. Me too. Your father is trying to edge closer, but the governor draws you into another conversation with a city official from the Capitol. She mentions your name like it has weight now. Like it's an answer, not a question. You glance at your father mid-sentence, watch his expression, as he realizes he's not invited into this circle. Not because he's excluded, but because he never thought you'd be inside it. Your brother finally approaches, but not toward you, toward the governor. He tries to wedge himself in with a comment about youth voter outreach voice just a little too loud. The governor acknowledges him with a nod so brief it could be mistaken for a blink. You wonder if this is what invisibility felt like for you all those years at family dinners and graduations, being congratulated only when it was convenient, introduced only when it made them look generous. Now they're the ones scrambling to catch up. You excuse yourself to the restroom partly to breathe, partly to be alone with this moment. You stare at your reflection in the marble-trimmed mirror. You still look like you. A little older, a little wiser, a little harder around the eyes. But you're not here to soften anyone else's shame tonight. When you step back into the ballroom, it's your brother who startles, like he was bracing for a different version of you, one that still cared about his approval. You walk past him with a nod. Smile more, you murmur. You're being watched. He flinches like it's a threat. It's not. It's advice. You've always been good at holding a room without raising your voice. But now the room holds its breath around you. Everywhere you turn, there's a small pocket of people pretending not to glance your way while adjusting their posture. The ones who once thought of you as the quiet one now rehearse your name before saying it out loud. You make your way to a table near the back intentionally, instinctively. Old habits. But even here, the shadows no longer offer anonymity. A senior aide from the governor's office slides into the chair beside you with a smile that's half admiration, half calculation. "Chairperson," she says casually, dropping the title like a polished coin onto the table. "We'd like your voice on the next state ethics amendment draft. Behind closed doors, of course, before it goes public." You lean back in your chair, one brow slightly raised. It's not public yet. It will be. But it'll pass faster with your fingerprints already on it. You sip your drink. Let that settle. Then you nod. It's not even a power move anymore, it's just what you do. Your phone buzzes. Another missed call from your mother. A text from your father. One from your brother that says, "Can we talk privately?" You don't reply. Not yet. You glance up just in time to see him across the room staring. His eyes flick to the governor, then back to you. You know that look. It's the same one he gave you the day he got his first promotion and assumed you'd ask for a favor. He's always expected to be the center with you orbiting nearby like a helpful moon. He never considered what might happen if your gravity shifted. Your mother reaches you first, always the PR arm of the family. "I'm proud of you," she says, smoothing her dress like the compliment needs polishing. "We all are." "That's new," you reply, not bitter, just honest. "We didn't know how much you'd grown." You tilt your head. "You mean how much I did without telling you?" She frowns as if wounded. "We just want to support you now." You set your glass down, voice soft but precise. "It's not a matter of wanting. You'll have to learn how." She doesn't know what to say to that. Your brother arrives moments later, eyes flicking toward your mother, silently asking for space. She steps back, lips pursed. He sits, doesn't speak for a full 10 seconds. Then, "Why didn't you tell us?" You glance around, making sure you're not the only one hearing this. "Because when I tried, no one listened. I would've..." No, you say, cutting through the sentence like thread. "You wouldn't have. You would have said I was making things up again. Overcomplicating. Trying too hard." He doesn't deny it. "You used to laugh when I talked about policy." You add almost gently. "Remember that Thanksgiving, where you told everyone I should just become a school teacher and stop pretending I could fix anything?" His jaw tightens. "That was years ago." "Yes, you say, and I remember every word." He looks down. "I was just trying to be the one who made it." "I know you say. And the truth is, I didn't come here to take anything from you." You stand. "But I'm not going to shrink for you either." You walk away without permission, without apology. And behind you, for the first time, he doesn't follow. The contract slides across the table like something out of a political thriller. Thick ivory paper, gold-embossed headers, and that unmistakable smell of fresh ink and old intentions. You're in a private chamber adjacent to the ballroom, now invited there by Governor Harmon himself. No press, no flashes, just quiet consequence. He's sitting across from you with his reading glasses perched low on his nose, fingers steepled in thought. "Ethics oversight isn't glamorous," he says, "but it's the engine. If it fails, everything fails." You nod. "That's why I built my career where no one was looking." He smiles at that. "That's why I trust you." He gestures to the line marked chair appointment pending signature. You have the experience, the neutrality, and the spine. But more importantly, you're not chasing anyone's legacy but your own. You pause, pen hovering. You sure this won't be seen as political? Oh, it will, he says. Everything is. But let them talk. It'll be louder for the ones who've underestimated you. You think of your brother out in the ballroom, smiling through gritted teeth, replaying every moment of the night in his head, trying to spot the fork in the road where he stopped being the chosen one. You wonder if he realizes this contract doesn't just sideline him politically. It ties future funding approvals, visibility, and committee endorsements to you. You sign. The pen glides smoothly, like it's been waiting for this moment, too. The governor folds the folder shut. Welcome to the engine room. When you return to the ballroom, there's a visible shift in posture. Staffers who wouldn't meet your gaze earlier now move out of your way. A few donors approach with subtle smiles, offering praise for your principled approach. They mean they know you can't be bought, but maybe they can borrow your light. Your brother is by the fireplace now alone. His girlfriend left 20 minutes ago, something about a headache. You're told she got tired of the photo ops with no actual payoff. He sees you coming and straightens. You signed it. You nod. He exhales through his nose like he's holding back a storm. You know what this means, right? For me. You step beside him, not above, not below, just beside. I know exactly what it means. He stares at the flames. I worked my whole life for this moment. I know, you say, so did I. He looks at you for a long time. There's no contempt left, only the ache of recalibration when someone finally realizes the person they dismissed was building an empire in silence. You're not gonna help me, are you? I already did, you say. I came. I smiled. I whispered the nice things. You asked me to sell viability, and I did, just not yours. A long silence. Then he nods once bitter and slow. You're good at this. I had the best teachers, you say, not smiling. Behind you, the governor is shaking hands again. Another photo op, another fundraiser. The machine moves on, but you're no longer standing beside it, hoping to be let in. You are the machine now. You find him in the side garden under those decorative string lights that try too hard to feel whimsical. The party is still alive inside glasses, clinking donors, laughing a little too hard at things that aren't funny. But out here, it's just the two of you again. Like when you were kids and everything was a race to be first. First to the door. First to be seen. First to matter. He hears your footsteps and doesn't turn around. I used to be proud of you, he says. Back when you looked up to me. You pause a few feet behind him, the cool breeze tugging at your coat. You used to be a lot of things. I didn't mean to push you out. He adds quieter this time. I just didn't see you coming. You step closer. That's because you were too busy looking at mirrors instead of windows. He turns at that. His face is different now, less polished, less defensive, just a man cracked open a little by his own blind spots. I thought being loud was the same as being right, he admits. And you were always quiet. I thought that meant you were lost. You tilt your head. Sometimes it did. But I never needed to be found by you. He chuckles bitterly. You sound like someone who's been waiting to say that. I have you say, but not for revenge. He looks confused. You continue. I came tonight for you. Believe it or not. Now he really stares. Why? Because I wanted you to see it. You say softly. Not the press releases or the speeches or the title. Me. The version you ignored for so long. The one who stopped asking for permission. He runs a hand through his hair, suddenly looking years older. I was so sure I had to be the star. That if I didn't shine, no one in this family would. You shined, you reply, but it blinded you. The wind rustles the bushes behind you, like even the plants are leaning in to hear. You were the reason I worked so hard, you say. To get out from under your shadow. Not to escape it, but to reshape it. He looks down, and now you're in charge. You shake your head. I'm not here to control you. I'm here to remind you that you were never entitled to control me. He doesn't reply right away. He's processing not just your words, but the empty space between what you were and who you've become. I don't hate you, you say, and it's true. But I needed to stop shrinking around you. The silence between you is heavy, but not cruel. Not anymore. You let it hang there for a moment. Then you start walking back toward the mansion, toward the waiting noise, toward your future. And for the first time in a long time, you don't check to see if he's following. You just keep walking. Because you've already said what you came to say. You leave before the speeches start. Not dramatically. No glass drop, no slammed doors. Just a soft goodbye to the governor, a nod to his aide, and a quiet slip out through the side entrance where the staff smoke on break. No one stops you. No one dares. You've already altered the atmosphere inside. Staying longer would just be indulgent. The air outside is cool, the kind of cool that sobers a mind sharpened by power and memory. Your heels click down the marble stairs like punctuation marks in a sentence no one saw coming. You call a car but don't wait on the sidewalk. Instead, you walk a block, then another. Let the night breathe. Let your silence settle into the bones of the city. When your phone buzzes again, you glance. More texts. Mom, I'm sorry if we made you feel small. We just didn't know. Dad, proud of you. Really. Hope we can talk soon. Brother, where did you go? Are you okay? You don't answer. Not yet. It's not anger holding you back. It's clarity, a kind you earned through years of being overlooked, underestimated, and laughed off as the idealist who meant well. You don't need their admiration now. You needed it then. That's the part they'll never quite understand. You reach your hotel, the lobby quiet and warm, the kind of expensive silence that wraps around you like velvet. The concierge nods as you pass. Someone recognized you earlier, one of the interns from a state program you quietly funded. She didn't ask for a photo. She just whispered thank you like it was a secret she'd waited to share. You ride the elevator alone, watch your reflection in the brass trim. You don't look like a conqueror. You look like someone who's tired but finally standing at full height. In the suite, you pour a glass of water, kick off your shoes, and sit by the window. The skyline flickers with late-night ambition offices, still lit by interns and power plays. And somewhere down there, your brother is probably still pacing, trying to rewrite the night in his head, trying to find the version where he stays the center. But that version doesn't exist anymore. You open your laptop, check your inbox. The committee appointment confirmation is already there, signed, stamped official. Your name is at the top, not below anyone, not co-signed, just you. And that's when it hits you not with fireworks, but with a quiet sense of peace. You didn't win. You simply arrived. And maybe that's the real story. Not one of vengeance or glory or even redemption. Just arrival. Showing up fully after years of being made to feel like your presence was something to apologize for. You shut your laptop, take a breath, and let the night hold you. Tomorrow they'll write headlines. But tonight you don't need to be heard. You just need to rest. You don't reply to anyone for 3 days, not because you're avoiding them, but because silence for the first time feels like power instead of punishment. You spend the weekend in your apartment upstate, the one no one in your family knows about. The walls are bare, the windows wide. There's a lemon tree on the balcony that refuses to die no matter how much you forget to water it. You read, you cook, you sleep in. You ignore the buzz of your phone like it's distant weather, unrelated to the stillness inside. On Sunday night, the news breaks. Senator appointed to lead state ethics committee, a surprise move that signals a political reset. Your face is on the screen, not in the glamour way. No heavy edits, just you at the gala standing beside the governor, neither smiling nor scowling. You look steady, like someone who didn't come for attention but got it anyway. You scroll through the article once, then you close the tab. Another message comes in. This one from your brother. I know you're not answering me. I get it now. I really do. I used to think this was a game I could win just by being loud. But you played the long game, and I never even knew you were playing. You stare at it a long time. Then slowly you type, I wasn't playing, I was surviving. You don't hit send. Not yet. Instead, you set the phone down and watch the moon through the kitchen window. It's full tonight, bright enough to cast soft shadows across your countertops. Funny how light finds you even when you don't ask for it. On Monday morning, you return to your office. It's quiet, your staff arriving one by one with coffees and calm urgency. Someone's already printed out your new committee schedule and tacked it to the door. There's a fresh orchid on your desk. You sit, fold your hands, breathe. No applause, no party, no we always believed in you. Just the quiet hum of a room that now waits for your direction. And maybe that's the most satisfying part of it all, not the attention, not the headlines, Not the reversal of power, but the fact that no one handed it to you. You took it without raising your voice, without demanding their respect, by simply becoming undeniable. You glance once more at your phone, then turn it face down. And this time it's not to avoid them. It's because they no longer define the silence you've earned. You do. The world quiets without asking for your permission. The city that once hummed with noise and expectations now sits beneath you like a story that's finally finished telling itself. No need to edit, no need to repeat the lines. You lived them once. That was enough. You lean back in your chair, fingers resting loosely together, and let the stillness take hold. Not the kind that isolates, the kind that clarifies, the kind that whispers you're no longer waiting to be seen. Outside your window, the lights stretch like gentle threads of gold across the horizon. Cars pass unseen. Somewhere, someone is speaking your name in a room you'll never enter, but that's okay. You don't need to chase the echo anymore. You've already become the source. You think of the kitchen table, the laughter that used to cut a little too deep. You remember the gala, the weight of a single sentence. Wait, you're the senator. And you think about how it felt to walk away gracefully, completely, while the past finally crumbled behind you like soft dust. No anger lingers, just clarity, a calm that settles deep in your chest like evening fog. You are no longer the version of yourself who begged for validation. You are something steadier now, someone who understands that dignity doesn't require witnesses. It just needs space. And tonight there is space. Between who you were and who you've become. Between the noise and the knowing. Between what they saw and what you are. You close your eyes. The breath in your chest is soft, even slow. And if you're still awake, that's okay too. Some nights just lying still and breathing softly is enough to return home to yourself.